The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D-18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another edition of Stat Boy Sports Bar for January 30th, 2024, as we get closer and closer to winding down the NFL season on a rainy day. The rain just popped out of nowhere out here in Sevier County, Tennessee. Of course, the weather's been a little bit crazy and cold all the past couple of weeks. But anyway, we are here now today and now to talk about stats, sports, everything in general, just like the opening says. Remember, if you want to dictate the conversation, do what is being said on the ticker below us. Super chat, super chat, super chat. It is simple as that. We will immediately stop and acknowledge you, which is the proper way to do it. And I'll answer your question to the best of my ability. The DJ Mud King, also known as the Fantasy God, is with us this week. Dory Lou is came from work not feeling a little too good, but she's all right. It's a-okay. Don't worry about it. Everything is all right. So we start out on tap like we always do with the world's oldest sport, and that is hitting a ball 300 yards away, known as golf. We have another new winner, a first-timer from the Farmers Insurance Open in La Jolla, California, Matthew Pavone. And if you see how he spells his name, he is French. Matthew Pavone is the winner by one stroke, scoring a 13 under overall. His last round, he scored a 69. In round 3, he scored a 72. In round 2, he scored a 65. And in round 1, he also scored a 69 as well, bringing home $1.6 million for one whole tournament, minus taxes, of course. He had no idea how he did it. This is now back-to-back tournaments where, even though you want to use the term that they're a nobody, they really are a somebody. This is his first win overall this season. So congratulations to him. The top 10 continued on in the tournament, and it was a very close matchup all the way around. Nikolai Holgaard, he is Danish, I believe, or Norwegian. I believe he's Norwegian. Took second place.
Sounds like a hockey name.
It does sound like a hockey name. That is true. He took second place. Nate Lashley took third place. Jake Knapp also took third place. And then Steven Yeager tied for third place. So there was a three-way tie for third. Kevin Youth and Bo Hosler and Tony Finau all tied for sixth. Patrick Rogers and Xander Schauffele tied for ninth. So what does this all mean? It means points, and more points when it comes to the FedEx Cup. What is the FedEx Cup? Well, we've only been talking about it for quite some time. But basically, what you want to do is you want to score enough points to where you are in the top 70 of the PGA Tour standings. Those 70 players will play in the last three events of the season. Then when we get to the last tournament, there is an aggregated scoring card, meaning the number one player gets the lowest score and starts with basically a handicap. So the number one player still for 4 weeks straight is Chris Kirk, who has 753 points, but on his name there, he has a DN plea, which means he did not play. He last played in the American Express tournament, which pretty much was last week. And there's Matthew Pavone from France. He is the winner of the Farmers Insurance. He earned 500 points, added to the 98 points that he earned in previous tournaments from this season, puts him in second place overall. Byung-Hun An of Korea is at 570. He has not played since the Sony Open. Grayson Murray of the USA did play in the Farmers Insurance. Unfortunately, he missed the cut. And if you miss the cut in PGA play, you don't get any points. JT Poston did not play. He played in the American Express last week. He's at 415 points. Sahith Tagala of the USA is at 404 points. He did finish he did make the cut. He finished 64th, so he's at 404 points. Xander Schauffele, who finished 10th in the Farmers, or he tied for 9th, but it's 10th place overall with the leaderboard. He earned some points. He's at 387. He stays put in 7th place. Jordan Spieth did not play. He last played in the Century. The runner-up from the Farmers Insurance is in the top 10, and Christian Bausenhout of South Africa rounds out the top 10. The remaining players you can find on PGA.com.
It's good to see Jordan back in the top 10 finally.
Yes, indeed. Jordan Spieth is a great. I think my go-to guy this season is the story with Colin Morikawa after what he did at the end of last season. If you remember, he promised to donate $1,000 for every birdie he made in the first leg of the 3-tournament title to help out the wildfires in Hawaii, which is his home state. So I think I'm going to be rooting on him a little bit.
I dig it.
All right, let's take a look and see what the ladies did. The LPGA Drive-On Championship in Bradenton, Florida. We have a new winner. New to this year, but overall is her 9th career win. This is Nelly Corda. And she took home, how much money did she take home? Let's find out. I think it was over $1 million for this. Yes, it was. Ironically, though, she had to go into a playoff. Now, what's a playoff in golf? It's easy. When 2 players or more are tied at the end of the final hole in regulation, you go into sudden death overtime. The winner of that single hole wins the tournament. Now, there was an interesting play in this tournament. She was playing against Lydia Ko, who won the tournament the week before. They both hit their shot off the tee. They go to their approach shot on the par 4 18. And Lydia's shot went literally underneath the hospitality grandstand, right by a bouquet of flowers and a bucket of champagne. The camera catches this. Go onto YouTube and look up LPGA Playoff Tour highlights. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now, the number one in golf, or the number one rule in golf, the number one rule that is so sacred that even a non-golf player knows it, play the ball where it lies. Unfortunately, this rule has a few exemptions. If the ball is deemed unplayable, it can be moved, but the ball has to be dropped within a reasonable distance from where it lies. The ball being underneath the grandstand next to a bouquet of flowers, you cannot get a proper swing. So Lydia was allowed to move the ball. She then chipped onto the green. Nelly and Lydia both put it in and made par. They had to go back to the green again and play again, and Nelly wins. So a good old-fashioned playoff victory with a little bit of a twist makes the ladies' tournament a little bit more exciting.
Every time you say that, I think of Happy Gilmore. Play the ball.
But that was for the movies, and they took that rule and threw it out the window. You know, they're like, oh, just putt around it and do that. And of course, if you play mini golf, the rule is you put the ball where it went out of bounds within the width of your putter.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So Nelly Korda is your winner for that, followed by Lydia Ko. Megan Kang took third place. Lucy Lee took fourth. Ayaka Furore of Japan took fifth. Austin Kim sixth. Shayu Lin of seventh. Monet Aname eighth. Andrea Lee is ninth. And Cheyenne Knight is 10th. The ladies are playing for their points as well. Lydia Ko is still the number one player overall with 820 points. Nelly Korda is in second place with 552. Alexa Pano missed the cut. She is stuck at 320 points. Ayaka Furore of Japan is at 310. Megan Kang is at 300. Brooke M. Henderson is at 277. Cheyenne Knight's at 220. Lucy Lee's at 162. Ali Ewing is 153, and Monet Aname is 135. The goal is to be one of the top 72 players, and they only play in one tournament, the CME Championship, which will be held in September. Congratulations to the ladies. All right, let's head to the courts. We're not talking basketball. We're talking tennis. The big tournament, one of the many big Grand Slams. 4 Grand Slams. The first leg is in the Australian Open. Yannick Sinner of Italy is your 2024 champion. This is his first Grand Slam overall and his 11th singles title. So congratulations to him. A lot of players did not make it this year, but the season is still young. And let's take a look at the points. Now, the points for the men, because this was a Grand Slam event, the top 10 has skyrocketed. Look at Yannick Sinner, 2,000 points right off the bat from 0 to number 1 in a heartbeat. Wow. Daniil Medvedev is at 1,300 points. He was the runner-up as they battled in each other. Alexander Zverev of Germany is in third place. He made it to the semifinals. The Joker, the number 1 player overall, Novak Djokovic from Serbia, 860. He got to the quarterfinals. Andrei Rublev of Russia, he got to the quarterfinals as well, 650 points overall. Hubert Hurkacz of Poland, he got to the quarterfinals. He's at 550. Alex de Minaur of Australia, one of the hometown heroes, only made it to the 4th round. He's at 465. Taylor Fritz of the USA, 445 points, got to the quarterfinals. Carlos Alcaraz, who is the Joker's big rival, at 400. And a player from last week who got eliminated in the first round is still in the top 10, Alejandro Tabillo at 378. Coming up next for the men.
Where's your guy, man?
Where's who?
Where's your guy, man?
Where's my guy? My guy does not have enough points yet.
Oh.
I think he got eliminated early, that's why I'm not talking about him. Believe me, if he had done better, I'd be wearing his shirt right now. But my guy is not there.
Poor Joker got eliminated too.
Yeah, he did. The ladies, on the other hand, are playing in the Australian Open, or the ladies competed in their version of the Australian Open, and we have a person who is similar to Cody Rhodes, as Cody went back-to-back in the Royal Rumble. Aryna Sabalenka went back-to-back in the Australian Open, winning her second Grand Slam title. This is her 14th overall. So way to go. There she is, kissing the the championship cup. She is now the number one player in the race to Turin, which is the big tournament at the end of the season. The top 8 play in that. She is the number one player, winning the 2,000 points. That puts her at 2,325. Qinwen Zhang of China is the runner-up. She's at 1,375. Our local hero and favorite in the multiverse of media and the sports. Off. Okay, she's your favorite and mine too. I will jump on her bandwagon greatly. 1,030 points. She got to the semifinals. Diana Yastramenska of the Ukraine at 845. Yelena Ostapenko, 738 from Latvia. She only got to the third round. Elena Rabakina only got to the second round, and she's at 678 points. The number one player overall for the ladies, Iga Swiatek, at 630 with an early third round exit. Not too good on that one. Linda Novaska is at 625 in the quarterfinals. Marta Kostiak at 570 from Ukraine. And Anna Kalinskaya at 547.
I was up till 4 a.m. watching the Coco match, and it broke my heart.
4 o'clock in the morning. Is that the time difference for Australia?
Essentially.
I forgot to mention the ladies' golf is going to take a 3-week break because their next event is not until the end of February, and they're going over to Thailand. So they're going to. So women's golf is on a temporary hiatus, but the men take over and all that other good stuff. So in 3 weeks, no women's no women's golf as they head over to Thailand. But
good
yeah,
food.
I mean, so this is leg one out of the way for the tennis. Of course, the 4 Grand Slams, the Australian, the U.S. Open, the French Open, and what I consider the WrestleMania of tennis, Wimbledon, because tennis is an English thing because a lot of people play tennis in England. I think English take their tennis a little bit more seriously than their football because it's not soccer in England, it's football. I think it goes tennis, football, and then probably
cricket.
Rugby.
Oh, rugby.
Because you show an English person American football and they laugh at us.
I think you got to throw cricket in there too, though.
I think cricket is more African. I don't really see the English playing cricket. I really, really don't. I'm not trying to offend the English, but I see a lot of
balance?
That's croquet.
Croquet. There we go.
Oh, dude, seriously?
Well, no, cricket too, because they play cricket competitively. But I was also thinking of croquet.
I think cricket is South Africa. That's where it's really big. That's my guess. Anyway, maybe we need we need to change the for fuck's sake, Mikey. We need to make a fuck's sake Zach.
Oh, well.
Cricket and croquet. How do you mess those up? Anyway, as we come back on the rails, let's go to the next one. College hoops is next, coming up. The guys and the women are. Not much of a change for the top 5 teams as UConn, Purdue, North Carolina, Houston, and our residential hometown Volunteers all stay in the top 5. Wisconsin with a huge jump, up 7 spots. Duke is up 5 spots. Kansas only drops 1. Marquette moves up 5 spots. Kentucky drops 4. Arizona drops 2. Iowa State, wow. The men's Iowa State with a huge leap, 11 spots. Creighton down 4. Illinois down 4. Texas Tech up 5. Auburn with the roller coaster drop at 8. Utah State only goes up 1. Baylor drops 3. New Mexico up 6. Florida Atlantic up 2. Dayton drops 5. BYU drops 1. Oklahoma with a giant roller coaster drop at 12. The Sooners are in danger of dropping out of the top 25. The Crimson Tide make their first appearance in the top 25 all the way in week 13. And Texas Christian University rounds out the list. The ladies, South Carolina stays atop the top 25 there. Kansas State, Iowa, Stanford, and North Carolina all move up 2 spots into the top 5. Colorado drops 3. UCLA Bruins with a small drop of 5. The Ohio State drops 4. LSU stays the same. Indiana up 4. UConn drops 3. Texas drops 2. Baylor stays put. Notre Dame goes up 1. USC with a small drop of 4. Not too bad. Louisville goes up 2. Virginia Tech goes up 2. Oregon State jumps from the bottom to the middle from 25 to 18. They go up 7. Gonzaga goes down 2. Utah drops 4. Syracuse goes up 1. Creighton and drops, so Syracuse and Creighton swap places. West Virginia went down 1. North Carolina drops 4. And Princeton makes their debut in the top 25. Hello to Pop and Renegade. Pop says cricket is also huge in India. That's where I was trying to get out. India is also a big cricket country as well.
I thought about JJ when I was thinking about croquet, because the only thing I could think about is the movie Heathers, which is one of JJ's favorites. So, yeah.
I think I've tried to learn the rules of cricket, and I just don't get it. I think you can only hit the ball so far, and the cricket bat. The cricket bat is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Casey Jones, the original TMNT movie from 1990. You youngins don't know that stuff. The older crew, we know that stuff. All right, let's take a look at the pro basketball and what's been happening in the NBA.
Yes.
Boston Celtics are continuing their dominance. They are atop the power rankings again, 7 weeks at 36-11. The Minnesota Timberwolves are in second place. They move up a spot. They're at 33-14. Right behind them are the defending champion Denver Nuggets at 33-15. The Bucks, who just got Doc Rivers as their head coach, are down 2 spots at 32-15, tied with the Oklahoma City Thunder at 32-15 as well, but they've been stuck there for 5 weeks. They have not moved out of column 1, so they are okay. Clippers round out column 1 at 30-15. They've been in there for 3 weeks. The New York Knicks are at 30-17, moving up 2 spots. 76ers drop 1, 29-16. Cavaliers at 28-16. Sacramento Kings 27-18, up 2. Pacers and Suns are tied at 27-20. Pacers move up 2. Suns drop 1. Dallas Mavericks at the top of column 3 at 26-21, tied with Zach's New Orleans Pelicans. They dropped 4. Orlando and Miami swap spots, so that we've got a little mini battle royal going on there in the state of Florida between the Magic and the Heat. And the last 2 teams in the middle column are at 500. The Utah Jazz staying put along with the Lakers. No change there. They're both stuck there at 3 weeks. Houston Rockets are at the top of column 4 at 22-24. Bulls are at 22-25. Golden State is 19-24. They've stayed put for 3 weeks. Atlanta staying put at 2 weeks, tied with the Brooklyn Nets, and the Memphis Grizzlies round out column 4. Column 5 starts off with the Toronto Raptors, and the Trailblazers have stayed put for 5 weeks. The Hornets are stayed together. The whole column, all of column 5 have stayed put, so there's really no change in none of them. And sadly, again, the Pistons are again at the bottom of the barrel. And when we talk about what happened in football, maybe now things can turn around for the Pistons. If not, they're going to be a team that there's not going to be too happy. There was some news this morning about a flagrant foul. Let me see if I can quickly bring that up. It happened last night.
They did win a game this week, though.
You did?
Huh?
Let's see.
Detroit beat the Thunder this week, so that's a positive from a very disappointing season for them.
Yes, got it. It was Brooks who inadvertently hit LeBron. Dylan Brooks in a game got charged with a flagrant foul. because we hit the golden boy in the face. It happens, folks. It happens. It's not a violent sport. It's not like hockey where a fight breaks out. It's just egos clashing. That's all it is in basketball.
It's not like it's Draymond Green on the court. Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon.
Never too soon. Go ahead.
Well, Draymond Green, I mean, I get 6 technical fouls a week, It's not like one of those situations. It's not like Dylan did it on purpose.
I don't think they ever intentionally
I would have said probably.
That's the thing, okay? Things happen, but I don't think that basketball players, especially in the NBA, have the malice or the thought because they hate a player so much that could be considered a rival that they're just going to walk up and clock them. It doesn't work that way. Right. And if it does happen, they're not going to admit it. And if they do, you've got an episode of you've got one of the best crime dramas in the world. Oh yeah, I meant to hit him. Yeah, I don't like him. He doesn't deserve to be in the league. Good luck with that one.
So it could be scripted.
Oh yeah, because all sports are scripted. I do not believe that. I'll say this right now: the NBA is not scripted. I do believe that basketball players put in the work. Moving right along, let's talk about women's hockey. Remember, there are 6 teams in the PWHL. Unfortunately, they still do not have any team names yet, so they go by where they play. Minnesota, Montreal, Boston, Ottawa, New York, and Toronto. Every time a team wins in regulation, you get 3 points instead of the normal 2 points. If you win in overtime or you win in a shootout, you earn 2 points. If you lose in overtime or in a shootout, you will only get 1 point. And if you lose in regulation, you get nothing. The team representing Minnesota and the team in Montreal are tied at 15 points overall. They are pretty much even. Minnesota gets an edge because they've lost in overtime, whereas Montreal has lost in overtime and a shootout and a regular loss. So losing in shootout it just probably takes longer. So I guess that's why we're going with Minnesota getting the higher ranking. Boston is at 10 points with 2 wins, 2 overtime wins, and 2 losses. Ottawa is at 2 wins, 3 overtime losses, and a loss. And they're at 9 points, tied with New York, who have 4 regular losses. So that's why Ottawa has the better ranking over New York. And Toronto is last at 8 points. I do believe that the season is a 24-game season. I believe that is what it is. And like I said, just like each week, we bring this up and then we go into the guys. Ladies go first, and then the guys come up. So let's see what's happening in the NHL. And we still have the Vancouver Canucks in first place, but they are tied with the Boston Bruins. So how do we break the tie? We go into the records. Vancouver's at 33-11-5. Boston is at 31-9-9. To have 71 points and only 9 regular losses, outstanding. Good job, Boston. Colorado's in third place, 7 points. They move up a spot. Florida Panthers at 66. They move up 2. They are tied with the Dallas Stars. It goes by records. Florida is at 31 wins. Dallas is at 30 wins. Winnipeg Jets are at 65 points. The Vegas Golden Knights are at 64 points. And the New York Rangers round out column 1 at 63. Carolina Hurricanes at 61 points. Edmonton Oilers at 59, tied with the Lightning. Go Bolts. 59 points there, tied. The Oilers have 29 wins and the Lightning have 27. Toronto Maple Leafs at 58, Detroit at 57, Philadelphia at 56, and the St. Louis Blues, the Nashville Predators, and your Los Angeles Kings all tied at 54 points. St. Louis has the lead at 26 wins and 20 losses, and they jumped 9 spots. They are out of column 3, and they bleep into column 2.
Oh.
Predators stay put for 4 weeks at column 2. Kings have fallen into column 3 for the first time, I believe, this season. Kraken at 52 points, right on the Kings' heels. followed behind them by the New York Islanders at 52, Devils at 51, tied with the Penguins, and tied with the Capitals. Arizona's at 49, tied with the Flames. Buffalo moves up to the top of column 4 at 48 points, tied with the Canadiens, who stayed put. Minnesota Wild drop a couple spots. They're at 47. Senators are at 40, tied with the Blue Jackets, who switch spots. My Ducks are stuck in the bottom at 36 points. Blackhawks and Sharks are at 30 points, stuck at the bottom for 6 weeks. Not looking good in hockey.
The Kraken are coming.
Yes, they are. The Kraken are coming indeed. All righty. Before we get into the
Speaking of hockey, let's go to commercial and see about James's uncle's documentary.
Woo! Indeed, because when we come back, the meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar, your full coverage of conference championship. Check this out, and we'll be right back.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn things to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out, separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
Indeed he is. That's why we keep featuring him on this channel. All righty, friends. It is now time for the meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar, and that is NFL football. The conference championships are over. The Super Bowl is set. Sunday was your championship title matches between the final 4, which are now down to the final 2. The first game of Championship Sunday was between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. The Kansas City Chiefs win 17-10, earning their 4th AFC championship, as they have won it in 2019, 2020, and 2022. They, of course, have 7 division titles now, and they are looking to get their 4th Super Bowl championship, as they have won it in 1969, 2019. They are the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions there. Patrick Mahomes went 30 of 39 for 241 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He got sacked twice for a loss of 11 yards. Isaiah Pacheco was the lead rusher, carrying the ball 24 times, 68 yards with 1 running touchdown. Patrick scrambled 6 times for only 15 yards. And Travis Kelce, of course, broke the centennial mark with 11 catches, 116 yards, and 1 touchdown. Over on the Baltimore side, Lamar Jackson went 20 of 37 for 272 yards. So you can say, depending on how you call it, he's got more yardage, but not as many completions. So flip a coin on that one as who you felt did the better job. Jackson got 1 touchdown. He was picked off once. He got sacked 4 times. He was also the lead rusher, carrying the ball and running himself 8 times for 54 yards. Lead receiver on the Baltimore Ravens was Zach Flowers. He broke the centennial mark. He was 1 yard less than Kelce. He had 5 catches and 115 yards. Now, if you noticed early in the game, there was an administrative timeout. Why? Because there were drones flying in the area. An interesting rule or an interesting law or an interesting whatever you want to call it is that the airspace over any stadium that houses football or baseball with more than 30,000 fans is restricted, meaning no airplane can fly over a stadium. Wow. My question, of course, is why do blimps and occasionally news copters get to fly over it? The way I perceive it is nobody flies over a stadium unless you've got one heck of an angle and, maybe that's how they do it. So whenever a drone is in the area that the referees see the game is stopped, that's an NFL law or an NFL rule, until the owner of said drone decides, I'm holding up the game, I'm going to fly away. So that is what happened there. Unfortunately, the Ravens I wouldn't say they fell apart because they were tied at the end of the first quarter. Then KC scores 10 points after that, 10 unanswered points. Baltimore only got a field goal at the end or in the fourth quarter to make it 17-10. There was a very interesting play where Lamar Jackson technically threw the ball to himself, which is a legal play. He went to pass the ball. The ball got deflected. He got lucky and caught the ball in midair and ran a few yards. The ball never hit the ground. He never hit the ground. Therefore, he can run with it. Unfortunately, my pick was Baltimore for this one. Just didn't happen. And now the Chiefs get to go and defend their title. Zach, what do you think about this game?
Defense wins championships. And that's what it comes down to. Kansas City's defense showed up and controlled one of the best offenses in the NFL. And at the end of the day, if you could control both sides of the ball, you're going to win. It's as simple as that.
Defense wins games. That is the take from the fantasy god. All right. Coach Andy Reid, you got a big thing up against you. And in the NFC champion, that was like day 2 in high school football, defense wins championships. It's as simple as that. Just like that. On the NFC side, the Cinderella story is over, unfortunately, for the Detroit Lions, losing 34-31. Tough game. They were on the road in Santa Clara, California. Just didn't happen. Let's give you the numbers on that one. Jared Goff went 25 of 41 for 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, sacked twice for a loss of 13 yards. And Brock Purdy, who is only in his second year ever in the NFL. This is the rookie story here, folks. 20 of 31, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked twice. David Montgomery almost broke the centennial mark, carrying the ball 15 times for 93 yards, getting 1 touchdown. CMC, 20 carries. Christian McCaffrey, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns for that. On the receiving side, rookie Sam Laporta. If he does not get Rookie of the Year, it's a problem. I am definitely going to put him in for the SBSB Awards, which will be coming up this summer. Sam Laporta should definitely get some type of an award. 9 catches, 3 yards shy of the 100 mark. Very, very close. Amon-Ra St. Brown was right behind him with 7 catches, 87 yards. On the San Francisco side, 8 catches for Deebo Samuel, 89 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 3 catches for 68 yards. This is a rematch of 2022, I believe, in the Super Bowl. And what do you think about that there, Fantasy God? What happened? What went wrong in Detroit? Let's break this down.
Your guess is they took the foot off the pedal. You know, I remember at the beginning of the season. I mean, take it back. I remember at the beginning of his coaching at Detroit, Dan Campbell said, "We're going to come out. We're going to bite off kneecaps. We're going to take it to you," and that's what he did in the first half of that game. He took it straight to San Francisco.
Indeed.
But the one thing you need to learn is you cannot take your foot off the pedal at all. I am excited.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm excited for San Francisco. I'm glad to see them in the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy deserves a lot of credit. Hopefully the NFL can do the right thing and get Paul Heyman to do his introduction. You know, that's neither here nor there. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the team who doesn't give up till the ball game is over. And now with San Francisco did not give up. And that's why they're going to the Super Bowl.
17 unanswered points in the third quarter alone. And I was doing a watch along with Maddie and the captain. Go back onto YouTube and watch it. You will see me go from attempted commentary to fan in the last 6 minutes of the game. It was that disappointing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brother Jeff. What have you got to say?
Oh, I was just going to come in and talk about after this because I did not watch the games except the very, very end. And I wasn't even watching the game, really. I was following along with it because I was heading home from Vegas on Sunday. But, man, it's one of those, you know, I listen to other wrestling podcasts as well as do our own. And, you know, they talk about, you know, the NFL season is one big giant work between Taylor Swift and the commissioner. It's like, it doesn't look like it's far off now. Jesus. But God, the poor Lions, man. Like I said, I'm not a Detroit sports fan. I know that gets me in hot water when I talk to my no DQ people. But at the end of the day, I was pulling for them. I really was. I'm not a 49ers fan anyway, if I'm being honest. Never have been, or at least not having been since Montana left, because they retained we still have Montana arrogance after he left, and it's like, no, you don't. But they had a hell of a season too. So what can I say? It's been a different postseason for me. I usually, when I don't have skin in the game and you know it's a team I don't like, and I'm just like, I've just been. I guess I'm getting soft in my old age because it's so sweet to see this Kelsey Taylor Swift thing. So I think it's cute. I think it's sweet. I know. Okay. May I finish my thank you. You're gonna be happy with me when I make the announcement I'm gonna make, but go ahead, Zach, real quick before I continue with all my spiel.
I like I like the fact that, you know, a lot of they took away from the game, the focus on Taylor and Eminem battling each other. That was hysterical.
I missed that. I did not see that. What happened?
What?
Please explain.
Okay, no. It's not that they're battling. It's that the fact that Usher, who has had this Super Bowl halftime show slated for whatever it's been, a year or whatever, we know Usher and Em are friends. So it's not unlikely that he would have been there had Detroit pulled it out. But he's not going to probably be there now, except maybe to support his boy. Taylor's going to be there. That's for damn sure, if she can get back from Japan in time. She has a show in Japan the day before. That's a hell of a flight. That's a hell of a flight from Japan to Las Vegas.
Well,
so
you just gotta cross the Pacific and fly over Hawaii, and you're there.
I don't know. Okay, see, I don't remember how that works. I don't know if you can only fly one direction. I don't know how that shit works. So if I remember correctly, you can only fly east.
Oh.
Which means you got, I mean, even still, if you're flying east, you're good because that means they just got to go, like you said, from Japan across the Pacific Ocean. I don't know if you have to fly. I've never been in air traffic control. I've never been involved in an aircraft more than my mom used to work for an aircraft insurance company. I don't know that shit. I ain't got no friggin' idea. But either way, it's still a long ass flight from Japan to the United States. So, and you know, Taylor, she's going to want to look her best in that suite up there at Allegiant. And by the way, the suites at Allegiant are beautiful. So she's going to want to sit in one of those suites. Allegiant in. Fucking awesome.
Vegas, of course. Only the best.
Well, no, but with SummerSlam was at Allegiant in 2021, and I wasn't in the suite, but I wish I had seen SoFi first. That way I didn't have this isn't as good as Vegas when I went to WrestleMania. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I am also looking forward to, after a discussion with the owner of the Casa D-18 Studios, that on February 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, we'll be having a joint watch-along across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media as far as the Casa and the Jeff Meacham Network channels are concerned. Mikey expressed interest in doing a watch-along, so you are good to go, brother. I will be in the director's chair because it occurred to me that I can either go home and watch the show and be miserable with the rest of my family because the Cowboys aren't playing, I don't give a shit, or I could have some fun and then actually enjoy myself and probably make some money. So there you go. We'll do that.
I am very excited about this. I've been wanting to do a watch along on sports. I've put my interest in it for about 2 years. And I do want to, I'll give my shout out now. I want to give a thanks to Maddie Laws and the Raw Ball podcast.
Yep. Yeah.
It is out on YouTube. It is me doing the call for the Detroit San Francisco game. I was on commentary. I did the play-by-play. The only small issue, of course, is you might have to sync up your TVs if you don't want to be ahead or whatever. But that's right. 2 weeks ahead. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be.
Initially, I have lost a little bit of interest in this, but now we can also get into the preview stuff for the Super Bowl. And
next week,
I have changed my pick 3 times, so I'm going to make it a 4th time. I'm hoping that San Francisco wins. I'm pretty much wanting to see Kansas City lose. It's not that because I don't like Patrick Mahomes. Let the new blood win. Let the youngster win one. The point spread, for all you Las Vegas bettors, is only 2 points. San Francisco is favored by 2 points with a money line of about 128 minus. So you can make some money off of the Super Bowl. Go ahead, Zach.
Jeff, I just thought about this thought when we were talking about the whole Taylor flight thing.
Yeah.
Are they going to turn this into the Water Boy where she shows up and makes her grand entrance at halftime?
Wouldn't that be some shit? Talking about restricted airspace. I can't make it. Oh, wait, it's Taylor. Okay. Everybody move. Let her in.
Paging Dr. Austin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Okay. Which one?
Hey, Steve, What do you think will happen if Taylor Swift shows up at halftime?
I'm
trying to maintain my composure, but I can't make no promises.
Okay.
Yeah. And it'll just set up more and more conspiracies, because let's face it, there was a conspiracy with the logo color.
Oh, stop it!
Oh,
Jesus.
It was purple and red. Now it's all, and now that purple is out, we have to go all red.
No, God.
So I cannot wait.
Why can't we just embrace young love and celebrate it? Gosh darn it!
Because it's love. It's love by. It's Beauty and the Beast is what it is. A beautiful girl and a big Travis Kelce. It's Beauty and the Beast. It's that simple.
I think the more intriguing part of this is what's going to happen between Taylor and Usher. I think that's the better question now.
Usher's got to find a way to incorporate her into the show now. It just has to be a thing, right?
She's going to
Renegade would answer that
take
question.
the Alicia Keys roles on My Boo. There we go.
Poor Mikey's going, I want to talk about sports.
Well, you can't talk about sports, but when music comes involved, you call in the Renegade. He'll know exactly what to do about this.
That's it. Oh, shit.
Well, let's bring in Eminem to make the show all about him. And heck, why not? Let's revisit Kanye and bring Kanye in too.
Okay,
that worked out good.
Okay, so hang on. So when what game was first? Okay, so the Chiefs were first. So when the Chiefs won, I'm sitting there following along during when the hell we were on the road. No, we were on the road during the first game. No, I was stuck in the middle of freaking Red Rock Desert nowhere because I couldn't get a signal and sit and spank my ass with both hands. But when I came out of the desert, I was able to watch what was going on with the game. When the Chiefs won, I thought, man, if Detroit wins, I'm waiting for this battle on screen. He was on there, and then we'll be like, I'm from his boy Connie. I'm like, all right, Taylor, I'll let you finish. But let me do my thing and just watch the train wreck, because that'd be funny shit.
It would work out.
However, I'm definitely curious. I will be fully transparent. I've tried to be that, going into this year because of everything going on around here and trying to have open discussion and communication and everything. I didn't know if there would be a audience for a watch along for us outside of professional wrestling, or sports entertainment, or whatever you want to call it. But I also, after the news of last week, and we're not talking about that because this isn't a wrestling show.
Nope.
I had a crisis of conscience as far as my fandom. And I felt icky being a wrestling fan, worse than I did with Benoit. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and embrace this. Expand the broadcast horizons. So Super Bowl Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, hopefully 3 Pacific. It may be a little earlier depending on when CBS and Nickelodeon start their coverage. And yes, Nickelodeon is covering the show to have a family-friendly presentation. So I think that's pretty cool that the folks at Paramount, Viacom, whatever we're going to call it, are going to have multiple presentations. I think that's a cool thing to do.
Balls will be thrown around with slime. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? It's Vegas, baby. Anything goes.
Taylor.
Let's not. You know what? Hang on.
I knew I would set him up for it.
For fuck's sake, Mikey!
You're welcome.
What are you, a fucking piece of shit?
Anyway,
Bringing up him. I've got some MJF news.
Okay. We weren't done with football yet, but okay.
Well, he will be appearing at a toy convention 3 hours south of Sevier County in Lexington on Sunday, March 10th. I will put the post out there for on social media and everything. He and Mick Foley will be out here. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can go because I'll be at opening weekend at my job on March 8th, and I don't know if that's compatible or not. It would be great and of course Kentucky is south of Tennessee, so hey, it's equal in the driving to Nashville, which is west of us. It's only 3 hours away, so If I can pull some strings, that girl and I might be lucky enough to meet MJF.
Make sure you wear your gear and mention my name, and he'll probably either go off on you or give you a recognition after, or both. So there you go.
He'll go off on me, but he'll love Dory Lou.
And I don't know. Max is a pretty equal opportunity offender.
No, he sees us together, and he'll probably look at her.
You completely underestimate Max's ability to not give a fuck about anybody. Keep that in mind.
Well, he
Just
knows
saying.
me a rip. I'll tell you that. Anyway.
Hey, Jeff, you know what else I just thought about?
Yes, sir.
So the 49ers are in the Super Bowl. So
Accurate.
That means you know who else you got to throw into this musical equation?
Who?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well,
if it was LA
because
I'd say yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was the Rams, the Chargers, or even the Raiders, maybe. But yeah, I don't think Snoop gives a shit. But who does give a shit? Thank you, by the way, is Warhawk Rambo with a $5 super chat. We thank you for that. Favorite foods for football? I'm a Buffalo Wings guy.
Favorite foods? Okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna throw out pizza because pizza's a go-to. We have to have Renegade's chili cheese dip. That's a given.
My mom's crab cheese dip, absolutely.
Yeah.
With Ritz crackers, though. You got the Ritz crackers.
Oh yeah. A good old-fashioned party tray with the veggies and all that. I'm gonna go. Honestly, for the Super Bowl, I'm more of a sandwich guy when it comes to the Super Bowl. It's got to be a good
like
sandwich.
slider size, not these big ass. Yeah.
No, not the sliders. I'm talking like a sub
No, I'm saying like, but like I've seen like party trays that have like sandwiches, like the big ones, but they're cut in like slider size increments.
Okay,
like a po' boy.
Yeah,
po' boy. There it is.
There you go. A New
po' boy
Orleans
of the
po'
business,
boy.
man.
Good time.
I didn't know what the hell po' boy was. I moved in with this Yahoo and JJ. I'm like, these are the business.
And then you got your chips and dips. Gotta have beer. It's a Super Bowl party. Gotta have beer for the kids.
Hey, I got 3 Stone Cold beers left from New Year's. I'll probably have those during the broadcast. So there you go.
And then
I like Rotel dip. You ever have Rotel dip?
What's in it?
So it's ground meat, Velveeta cheese, and Rotel tomatoes.
Ooh,
sounds
amazing.
I'm not a big tomato guy, especially warm tomatoes, but that might not be a bad combination.
Wings are okay. I mean, I can eat wings any day.
Gotta go boneless though. I can't do bone-in wings, especially with my teeth now.
Yeah. And then the hotter the better, right? When it comes to hot sauce.
Fuck you, dude. You know what I am? Are you ribbing? No.
So we're not going to see you on Hot Ones anytime soon, right?
No, that will not be a thing. The only way to get me on Hot Ones is if they have like a milk IV directly down my throat. Like no, absolutely not. But we can guarantee on this channel is going over the pick 'em and getting off the air. We gotta get going.
Yes, indeed. As you can see, the conference championship, JP took on Renegade. Renegade picked Chiefs and Lions. JP picked Ravens and Lions. JJ got the only one right with the Chiefs, so he advances to the finals. Emmanuel and Pop, they both picked the Chiefs and the 49ers. They were both right, so it went to the points. Pop went over. Emmanuel went under, so Pop gets eliminated for that. The final matchup is Renegade versus Emmanuel. This is only for the playoffs portion of it. I never specified how the overall was going to work, so we're just going to do a regular season winner and a playoff winner. So Renegade is in the finals. The final matchup is going to be, of course, they'll each pick who they want to win, and if they both pick the same team, it'll come down to the best of 3 as to number of points, number of passing yards for Patrick Mahomes, and number of passing yards for Brock Purdy. Whichever one of them, if they sweep all 3, well, then there you go. If it's fully tied after that, they both win, and everybody wins all the way around, and then we move on to 2024. That is going to wrap up all the news we have for this week. So we're going to take a break, then go to the shills.
No, before we go to the shows, Zach wanted to do a shout out. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to him now, but we make sure we get her in here.
I know this is not a wrestling channel, but I have to make this.
That's okay.
Mike, me and you talked about this earlier on in the week. I do want to shout out CM Punk for visiting Core Jade while
That
she's
was
dealing with her injury.
That was amazing.
Core Jade is somebody who is in the CM Punk eye of somebody he definitely wants to train and wants to see to the top.
Yep.
She has AJ Lee potential.
No, she does.
And for him to go, and one of his first stops as soon as he got in town for the Rumble was going to see Core Jade, and I want to shout out to Punk for that.
Well
that was
done.
really cool.
Good job. Well done indeed. And I'll give him a shout out as well. I hope your rehab goes well.
Yes. Man. Oh,
it sucks that had to happen, but when he comes back better than ever, I think after what I did have a rant planned for what Drew McIntyre said during his promo, but I decided to back off. It is religious based, so it's not.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers in the religious world, but Drew, you know what you said. Whether it was scripted or not, you don't say it.
Okay, but again, you know, he even said it. He's not a spiritual guy, but I did pray for it. That is classic. Let's draw the heel heat. That was expert. So I will disagree with you respectfully on that because I thought that was the way to go. I know you never invoke religion or politics on our shows or wrestling because it's just a no way to go. But in the context of what he said, it worked because I'm not a religious guy, I'm not a spiritual guy, but this I prayed for and it worked. Ha! I thought that was God damn, that was messed up. Anyway,
all right, let's get to the shills.
Okay,
you got through quick today.
Engaged. All right. First of all, I did not promote this morning because my ass was getting groceries in and then went back to sleep. Please check out For the Love of Wrestling by JJ Williams. He did his recap of Raw this morning at 9 o'clock Pacific, noon Eastern. Talked about Punk's announcement, the interaction between Seth and Cody, and of course Bayley's promo as the Royal Rumble winner. And you can check out all episodes of For the Love of Wrestling Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, exclusively on the Casa D-18 Studios YouTube channel. Of course, tomorrow, the Greg Cherry Show will be back live across the Jeff Meacham Network and the Greg Cherry brand channels and the social medias contained therein. Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Meach's Musings, of course, will be on Thursday across all of my outlets, as well as the Casa D-18 Studios and Greg Cherry brand YouTubes at Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Easy for me to say. Our next watch along will actually be this coming Sunday, the week before WrestleMania, the week before the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl of Wrestling. There you go. Week before the Super Bowl, as NXT presents Vengeance Day. We've got at least 2 title matches set up, as well as the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is always a great thing to check out. And the next time we are live with the dads, not always on wrestling, will be next Friday, special Friday air date, because it is 60 years to the date. I don't know what the Ed Sullivan Show aired, so forgive me if it's not the day as well, but to the date of the Beatles' first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. So we will have our, very simply, top 10 Beatles songs. Excellent. As you guys know, I was out in Vegas this weekend seeing my buddies Paradise Kitty do their thing out in Las Vegas. You can check them out coming up in March, in May, and July. There are the dates there, but announced not too long before I went on the other day, their next date will be February 10th, right here in Southern California at the Yamava Casino in Highland, California, with the legendary Quiet Riot over at Rock and Brews at Yamava Casino. So check it out. I'm going to try to get out there. It's the day before the Super Bowl, so there will be all the rushing back and trying to catch sleep. No sleeping. No sleeping that weekend.
Crazy.
Quiet Riot's great. We love Quiet Riot. Absolutely. We absolutely love Quiet Riot. Big friend, longtime friends of Jenna and all her various bands and the kiddies. So man, we're gonna have a hell of a Saturday night. That may be one of those where I pop in for open mic night, but probably not stick around because every time Jeff drinks on the air, we get in trouble. So just, especially with anyway. But thank you, JJ, for reminding everybody to hit the super chat. We have the banner up usually. January is not going to happen, it looks like, unless the Greg Cherry Show does well tomorrow. But please, guys, super chat. Every show we do across the Jeff Meacham Multiverse of Media. It is what I do to make the money, and I appreciate Warhawk Rambo sending in the super chat, the $5 one today. So that is really it as far as the shills. Again, I just chill the hell out of the kitties because that's what I do. But definitely, Stat Boy Sports Bar next week will be a full preview of the Super Bowl broadcast that we're going to be doing. Actually, no, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Yeah, next week is the full preview with all the stats. We can compare. We can make our final predictions as to who's going to win, along with all the other sports coming up in the week. If you have a story, remember, follow us on Twitter at LBStatKid1977 and at Hathaway Lou. Follow us on the Instagram at Dory Lou and at Statboy13. Let us know what kind of stories you want. Use the hashtag StatApproved and StatGirl approved. That is also a thing on the Twitter or the X. Call it what you will. There were some stories that were put out that I just didn't get a chance to get a full read on. That's also why we're going through this quick, because I just didn't get the graphics up and all that. But there's also a push towards the Summer Olympics coming up. That's this summer.
That's crazy. It's already February, and this week we're going to hit July.
And before you know it, the summer will be here. Next week is also Clash at the Coliseum, the exhibition race, which officially kicks off NASCAR 2024 with the Daytona 500 starting on February 18th. So coming up in the next couple of weeks is our official NASCAR preview. Wow. Lots of stuff to work, and a Stat Boy's work is never done. I love you all. I can't wait for the Super Bowl, and we'll see you all next week. Until then, stay safe. Stat Boy, out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.